All right, on to chapter 35. I noticed my shirt is really wrinkly, so I gotta put it back in the dryer once I'm done with this. Chapter 35, Jacob returns to Bethel. Um, let's get started. All right. Um, God said to Jacob, "Now move on to Bethel and settle there. Build an altar there to worship me, the God who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau. The God who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So Jacob told everyone in his household, "Destroy your idols, wash yourselves, and put on clean clothing. We are now going to Bethel, where I will build an altar to the God who answered my prayers when I was in distress. He stayed with me wherever I have gone." So you think about this. They believed in God, but they still had idols, false gods. Um, but it's like this is another God from the Bible, I guess. God of heaven. But they still had idols and worshipped other things, because I guess they were unsure of what everything was. Um, so so they gave Jacob all their idols and their earrings, and he buried them beneath the tree near Shechem. When they set out again, terror from God came over the people in all the towns of that area, and no one attacked them. Finally, they arrived at Luz, now called Bethel, in Canaan. Jacob built an altar there and named it El Bethel, because God had appeared to him there as at Bethel, where he was fleeing from Esau. Soon after this, Rebekah's old nurse, Deborah, died. She was buried beneath the oak tree in the valley below Bethel. Ever since the tree had been called the Oak of Weeping. God appeared to Jacob once again when he arrived at Bethel after traveling from Paddan Aram. God blessed him and said, "Your name is no longer Jacob. You will now be called Israel." Then God said, "I am God Almighty. Multiply and fill the earth. Become a great nation, even many nations. Kings will be among your descendants, and I will pass on to you the land I gave to Abraham and Isaac. Yes, I will give it to you and your descendants." Then God went up from the place where he had spoken to Jacob. Jacob set up a stone pillar to mark the place where God had spoken to him. He then poured wine over it as an offering to God and anointed the pillar with olive oil. Jacob called the place Bethel, house of God, because God had spoken to him there. So Jacob likes to make these altars all the time, it seems. And this time he put up a pillar where every time God talked to him, he put up something. So he poured wine all over it and olive oil. The death of Rachel and Isaac. Leaving Bethel, they traveled on toward Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. But Rachel's pains of childbirth began while they were still some distance away. After a very hard delivery, the midwife finally exclaimed, "Don't be afraid, you have another son." Rachel was about to die, but with her last breath she named him Benoi. The baby's father, however, called him Benjamin. So Rachel died, and he was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. Jacob set up a stone monument over her grave, and it can be seen to this day. I wonder if it can be seen to this day. I need to look that up, that'd be interesting. Jacob then traveled on and camped beyond the Tower of Eder. While he was there, Rachel slept with Bilhah. Reuben slept with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and someone told Jacob about it. These are the names of the 12 sons of Jacob. The sons of Leah were Reuben, Jacob's older son, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel were Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's servant, were Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's servant, were Gad and Asher. These were the sons born to Jacob at Paddan-aram. So Jacob came home to his father Isaac in Mamre, which is near Kiriath Arba, now called Hebron, where Abraham has also lived. Isaac lived for 180 years, and he died at a ripe old age, joining the ancestors in death. Then his son Esau and Jacob buried him.